All right, we have some breaking news. Trump has officially slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, further alienating one of our closest trading partners, not only in volume, but close as in geographically. They are a next door neighbor, and rather than talk to them and renegotiate his previous trade deal, the trade deal that his first administration completed, he decided to slap a 25% tariff. And there's a phrase, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And right now, Trump thinks that the only tool in our toolbox are tariffs, and he's swinging this hammer around, but somehow only hitting our allies like Canada, Mexico, even Colombia he tried to tariff. So he's doing this in a very reckless manner. It's not strategic, it's reckless. He is weaponizing trade in an attempt to pressure Canada over issues like fentanyl trafficking, issues that data show are far more prevalent at the southern border, and he hasn't even given them any sort of out. He's not asking for anything. It's wild. So this reads, Trump launches trade war against Canada with 25% tariff on most goods. President Donald Trump today launched a trade war against Canada by imposing a 25% tariff on virtually all goods from the US's neighbor, an unprecedented strike against a long-standing ally that has the potential to throw the economy into a tailspin. And remember, Trump is attacking all of our closest allies. I made a video earlier about people in Panama protesting against Trump and burning effigies of him because he can't rule out military coercion. He's alienating Colombia. He's alienating Mexico, Canada, countries in Europe and Latin America. He's alienating Ukraine, and it's not in a strategic way. There's a way that you can be strong on the world stage. Obama was strong on the world stage, but he had a steady hand. He wasn't going around alienating all of our neighbors that historically have stood shoulder to shoulder with us on critical global issues. So let's continue this article. And by the way, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this video, I should be live streaming, doing a live breakdown of everything that's happening throughout the day. You guys seem to love the live streams, but Trump's long-threatened plan to inflict economic pain on Canada has materialized on the day he said it would, after he moved back the timeline multiple times. Remember, he said tariffs on day one, then he said maybe week one, and then he moved it to February 1st. Well, I guess he did it. This includes a 10% tariff on Canadian energy products, according to a senior Canadian official who shared details of Trump's plan with CBC News. And remember, Trump is the one who said he wants to lower energy costs. He wants to drill, baby, drill, yet he's tariffing one of our closest allies that helps us with energy. Either way, these potentially devastating tariffs will take effect on Tuesday and remain in place until Trump is satisfied Canada is doing enough to stop the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. It's an odd request to make. Canada is expected to hit back later today, with retaliatory tariffs of its own to make Trump think twice about taking on his country's biggest customer. And let's just be clear, not only is this a power grab, but it's going to backfire spectacularly. The tariffs, which remember include a 10% levy on Canadian energy products, would ripple through both economies in a way that would destabilize many sectors. It would destabilize industries from automotive manufacturing to agricultural industries. It's going to be absolutely brutal. And I just want to show you this tweet really quickly. Someone texted their dad, "Are you excited for tariffs?" And he said, "Yes, very much. Looking forward to it. I want prices to go up so that those idiots who voted for him because he was going to bring prices down will understand." What he's saying is that he wants the people who voted for Trump to face the consequences of their own vote. And you know, I'm conflicted on this because, number one, I think that Trump supporters absolutely need to face the consequences and know that you can't just roll the die on an orange maniac and think that everything's going to be fine. But at the same time, many Americans are going to suffer. I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer, all of our families are going to suffer from the economic devastation if Trump keeps these tariffs in place, and that's not something I ever want for America. So it's a weird position where, yes, Trump supporters need to face the consequences, but all Americans are going to face the consequences. I hope Canada does something. There's a targeted way they can do it, where they put tariffs on potash, and that hurts red states. Mainly. It hurts agricultural states, mainly. I wouldn't complain if red states are being hit. Sorry to all my red state fans. I apologize. I know I don't want anybody to suffer, of course, but people need to face the consequences of their actions. Let's continue reading this. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section how you feel about Trump putting tariffs. Do you hope that it backfires in his face? Do you hope that we come out unscathed? Either take is okay, but Trump's rationale for these tariffs is not good. Because Canada's not just going to take this lying down. Prime Minister Trudeau is expected to announce retaliatory tariffs later today, targeting key American industries. And it's wild because if there is one thing Trump has been consistent on over the past 40 years, it's not abortion, it's not any social issues, most economic issues he's flip-flopped on, but tariffs are something that he's been talking about for a while. So Trump's rationale for these tariffs, from border security to trade deficits, sort of exposes the incoherence of his policy, right? Because the US government's own data shows a $55 billion trade deficit with Canada, but when oil exports and other services are factored in, the narrative of Canada treating us unfairly falls apart very, very quickly. We have a mutually beneficial relationship that Trump is about to nuke for his own egotistical gain. So Trump's move isn't about economics. He doesn't actually care about the economics. It's about political posturing. And he wants people to fear America. He wants to be strong and set an example, but the American people will bear the brunt of this. Financial markets were reacting yesterday when people were talking about tariffs. And there's a reason he did this on Saturday. Let me tell you. There is a reason Donald Trump did this on Saturday, because one of the feedback loops that he cares about the most is the stock market. He would reverse decisions during his first presidency if the stock market reacted poorly, so now he makes these major announcements on Saturday. And let me just break down the raw politics of this, because there is a chance that in a week, the tariffs will be revoked. And the reasoning is Trump may be making a maneuver where Trudeau essentially gives a slight concession. Trudeau says, yeah, we will mobilize 3% of our military, they'll go to the border, and they'll stop the flow of fentanyl, whatever Trump's request is. And then Trump will immediately remove the tariffs and claim victory. And if you guys think this is me sane-washing him or whatever, just think about it. Trump claims victory no matter what. Trump can take the biggest loss in the world, like the 2020 election, and he'll claim victory. He did this exact same thing with Colombia last weekend. After the immigration debacle happened, he threatened massive tariffs on Colombia. He even placed these sanctions on Colombia. And then the Colombian president didn't really react. He did what he always does, and he sent the presidential plane to pick up immigrants. Trump revoked the tariffs. He removed the tariffs within 2 hours. And then he claimed victory. All of the MAGA supporters ate it up. And Trump is still saying to this day that he's so strong and powerful because a week ago he thinks that his tariffs worked. No, it's all an optical win. And again, I'm not sane-washing him. I'm just saying Trump cares more about optics than actual results. And this isn't just bad policy, honestly. It's a dangerous game that could risk a broader economic breakdown, and it could have long-term diplomatic consequences. It'll damage our reputation on the world stage, but it'll also have long-term economic consequences. The consequences of this trade war will extend far beyond a few headlines. This will impact everyday lives. And honestly, it could shake the international alliances that we've been building up since World War II. After World War II happened, all of the world leaders came together to create a new coalition to make sure the world never devolved into chaos like that again, and they created NATO. We've had multiple alliances or trade agreements or things that make the world more cohesive, make sure that we're working together, and Trump is moving away from that. So I'll leave it at that. Now, I just want to say, in the end, Trump's trade war against Canada won't just hurt our allies, it'll hurt American citizens, and we need to be talking about the backlash, both economically and politically, every single day, and I'll leave it at that. Join my live stream if you're watching this. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.